Your journey to graduate school in the US starts with making the right choice of universities. Have you been trying to apply to graduate school in the US but not know where to start from in your school search? In this video, I will be sharing simple tips that could help you make the right choice, search the right universities that would fit your profile. Welcome once again to my channel. My name is Grace Ubiyo and I'm happy that you're here. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe, like, leave a comment for me in the course of listening to this video, and don't forget to share with people in your community. One of the first things you should consider before you start searching for the appropriate university for your graduate program should be you should have clear, specific goals. What do you want to do? Do you want to do a master's or do you want to do a PhD? By now you should know what suits your career goal. Will a master's help me to get to where I want to, or do I really need to do a PhD? Now, when you decide, yes, I want to go for a master's in biology, I want to go for a PhD in public administration, I want to go for a master's in engineering, I want to go for a PhD in sociology, or whatever you want to do, you should have a specific area of concentration. What I mean area of concentration, for example, biology is, we have plant biology, we have animal biology, we have different areas of concentration in the field called biology. So you should have a specific area of concentration. It may not be one, you could have two or three if you're open to working in different areas. For a start, it's good to have at least 2 or 3 options. Now, we should also understand that there are over 3,000 universities in the US offering graduate programs. And by the time you go to the internet, you're going to get confused. Probably you will see people sharing links and say, oh, there's an opening in this university over here for people who want to have study a PhD in public policy, or there's an opening for people who want to do a PhD or a master's in agricultural extension, and then you just keep seeing many of them and you get overwhelmed. You don't even know where to start. You don't even know which one to apply for. Hold on. Before you go further, do you know what your CGPA is? Have you converted your CGPA to the US 4-point grading system? I am saying this because many international schools do not use the 4-point grading system. So the first thing you should do before you start your university search, you should know what your CGPA is on the 4-point grading system. You can go online and find out how to do that, or you simply do your transcript evaluation beforehand. That way you are even well set and ready for the journey ahead of you. Next tip I'm going to be sharing with you is you should ask yourself, what would you want to do with the degree? Do you want to work in the industry? That's if you want to remain in the US after your graduate program. Or do you want to work in the academia, or do you want to do a business with your degree? All of this would influence the kind of graduate program you go for and the university that you also apply to. Next, you should start with what I call a broad search. What do I mean by a broad search? Example, schools offering a master's in public policy in the US. This is a very broad search. Trust me, it's going to bring out a lot of schools, thousands of schools or hundreds of schools offering a master's or a PhD in this particular field. Now, let us get down to the main myths. It is assumed that you know what your CGPA is over 4. You go down now, you narrow it down to schools that would suit your CGPA. Example, schools that schools that offer a master's in neuroscience that accepts a CGPA of 2.8, that accepts a CGPA of 3.0, that accepts a CGPA of whatever. You have a benchmark of maybe where your CGPA, your maximum or a minimum or whatever. Just try to be specific with the CGPA, because this is one very important criteria that schools, universities use to to filter application that come their way. Because trust me, there are thousands of applications coming into schools, into universities, into each department every year. So the CGPA is one of the first things they use to filter the right candidates from the rest. So by the time you impute schools that offer a master's in maybe a specific part of chemistry, a specific part of physics, a specific part of mathematics, or just generally mathematics that accept a CGPA of 2.8, CGPA of 3.0, a CGPA of 3.1, trust me, you are going to find those schools online. You see that list that comes out, screen grab it, hold it very tight, keep them somewhere. Now, what's the next thing to do? This is another important tip. Create a spreadsheet. I tell people this every time. You cannot do this randomly by just jumping up and down. You check somewhere today, tomorrow you come, you check another school. Oh, I've forgotten. Yeah, I know. I came across one school like that. You're going to forget. And even if you remember, you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be able to put your thoughts together, put the requirements together to see where your best fits. So creating a spreadsheet, when I mean a spreadsheet, you understand what I mean. Having use an Excel sheet, you could use a Google spreadsheet, doc spreadsheet, whatever it is that you're good at. Have a spreadsheet, and in that spreadsheet you are going to sit down and create different columns. The first column would be school name, all the school names that falls into within the CGPA you have already imputed earlier. The school name, the program name, what does this course, the program name, the particular concentration, application due date, because every school has different application due dates. Some are early as December 5, December 15. What is the application fee? That These are the title of the columns you should have. Application fee, because application to US schools are not free. Yeah, there are some schools with very low application fee, like $30, 35, 40, $50, and some as high as $75, 85, $105, as high as that. So you should have a column with the application fee. This way, by the time you start writing down all the schools and filling the details, you will get to see the ones that you can apply to and the ones you may not be able to afford. Also, you should not be scared by the application fee. Write everything down. As long as the school suits your interest, write down the requirements. Leave the application fee for now, because if you're lucky enough, you could get application fee waivers for some of them. And luckily, some schools may even tell you that they won't even charge you for application to apply to their course at a particular time. So you should have this. Then have tuition if you're going for a master's and it is not fully funded. Write how much is the tuition. Then have a column for CGPA, because some schools could tell you the CGPA they need 2.8, some tell you they need 2.9, some 3.0, some 3.2, depending. So have a column with CGPA that has all, you're going to feel that. Then have a column, do they need GRE or TOEFL, test of English as a foreign language? And then another column, number of recommendation letters needed. And then the last column should be financial aid. Yeah, are they going to finance your program? How much do they pay? Stipend do they pay you as a student? And all of that. So this is very important. By the time you have made this spreadsheet, now you sit down and start doing the work. Filling this spreadsheet could take you as long as 1 month, because you really need to, you don't just go online and see list of school and then you just start writing. You have to go into each of these schools. You click on the school site, go to the graduate admissions, graduate program, whatever it is, on the menu bar, and now look for that course. Go check for the course requirements or admission requirements, and then that is where you could see some of the information needed to fill this spreadsheet. So this could take you a while, especially if you work. You would need to have this on your to-do list. It's like a full-time job on its own. So you need to really be patient and diligent with school search. If you get your school search right, it increases your chance of getting a response, a positive response. Yeah, sometimes you could get your school search right, but things doesn't work out at a particular time. But I promise you, most of the problems that we face as in a prospective um student encompasses not having the right information on which school to apply to. You don't just apply because you had a classmate who applied to a particular school and got admitted and you felt, oh, that school is good, I can also try. No, there are so many factors to consider, and having this information according to your CGPA is very important. Now, it is also okay to check for schools with higher CGPA provided you have a strong profile. When I mean strong profile, I'm talking about what's your GRE score, you have strong recommendation letters, what's your statement of purpose, you have relevant experiences. This is very good profile. Your CV means a lot too. Sometimes they could look beyond your CGPA. If you have experience, if you have a good GRE score, if you have good recommendation letters. So do not just avoid the schools with requiring high CGPA if you have a good profile. But this is just a place to start. Now, another thing is you should also find out if it is necessary to have a supervisor before applying or not, because some persons just randomly throw applications to submit application to universities and then did not read the clause that said that you must have someone who is willing to accept you as a supervisor, what we call PI, principal investigator here, before applying. So you have to find out if this is one of the requirements. Also, if you're interested in research and you have a good profile, I would advise, excuse me, that you look at the ranking, whether this school is an R1 school, R2, or R3 university. R1 universities are universities with very high research research activity, and they are the forefront of research innovation, academic excellence, and they have lots of funding. R2 universities are doctoral universities with high research activities. They also have funding, but not like the R1 university. So you should pay attention to this, especially if you want to do a PhD that requires lots of hands-on research that needs fund. Pay attention to the ranking of the university. Find out, is it an R1 university or an R2 university? Also, why ranking can be helpful, I would advise that you do not limit yourself to just highly ranked schools. A highly ranked school or program doesn't guarantee a good fit or happiness, because the PhD journey or the graduate school journey in the US is a whole lot. So that you're going to a high ranking school, that you're not somewhere and you feel frustrated. No. So you need to also take note of this, the kind of professors, the kind of faculty. When I mention faculty, we're talking about the professors, the lecturers in that department. So when you're checking when you click on the department menu, graduate program, you're going to see where they say faculty. Faculty are the professors, the lecturers there. Click on it and check their profile, see what they are doing. You should find at least two or three persons. Please don't just go with only one person. It could be dicey. One person could be like, okay, this school is like my third or fourth option. But you should have at least two or three persons doing research that interests you, or people that you can work with. Perhaps if you're giving admission, you can work with these people. There are reasons why we say two or three. You will find out when you start the program. And then finally, I would say that you should trust your instincts. Or not finally, anyway. Trust your instincts and find and look out for the programs that really meet your individual needs and aspiration. So you should have at least three or four schools. By the time you've had this spreadsheet and you go through them, you start weeding out, oh, this school, the application fee is so high, I cannot afford it. Okay, you asterisk it. Okay, this school, I can afford the application fee. Okay, this school, I can, yeah, this school has exactly what I need. Even if the application fee is $50, I'm going to find a way to make it happen. So this is why a spreadsheet is very important. Also, when you have this spreadsheet, you find that you're not going to be running helter skelter, looking for every information people are passing everywhere about school and links, you're focused, you know what you want. And then you should also remember that you should not be very let's say streamlined or adamant on a particular program. Like, if it is not this part of engineering, I am not going to do it. You did something like industrial engineering, and you know that you have options that you can work in different types of fields or specialization or whatever. You should also, when you're trying to create a spreadsheet, try to be versatile. Check for people or schools doing things related to things that you can also do. Trust me, by the time you do all this, your school search is going to take a new turn. I mean, you're going to have better results, better output than you have been doing in the past. And this, if this is your first time attempting to apply to graduate school in the US, you're very lucky. This information is very timely. Many people did not know of this. I hope you make good use of it. Leave a comment for me in the comment section. Tell your friends about it. Share this video to people in your community. And don't forget to subscribe, because there are lots of information coming for graduate school study in the US. Not just in the US, but we'll be bringing tips for graduate school around the world. Have people coming from different, having people coming from different, who have studied in different countries, and they'll be coming to share tips with us on how they went about their graduate school application and the tips that helped them to get to be successful. So I would want you to miss any of all of these packages that we have in store for you. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. Finally, I did not say this. Yeah, this was my final statement. In all of these, I would say that you should pray also and trust God and be patient with yourself. Okay? I wish you all the best. See you in my next video.